Hey there. Welcome to Millennium Milestone Presents, a site dedicated to storytelling in books, movies, video games, and other exciting genres, where Angry Badger invited me to a Mandalorian cookout.
No, 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 no.
Well, now that I've gotten that out of my system here, it's time to talk about The Mandalorian and Grogu. And what can I say? I mean, those articles I just put out there kind of take almost a lot of the sail out of what I have to say about this movie. But here goes. 6 years and 5 months. That's how long it's been since the last Star Wars we've had. And I don't even think I need to even mention what happened with that movie. A lot of critics have already touched on that, so I'm not even going to bother with that. I think they already have spoken more than what I have to say about it. But The Mandalorian and Grogu, of course, is that of Din Djarin and his protege, Grogu, off on another adventure that would normally be suited for Disney Plus if it wasn't having problems of its own, say, trying to get more subscribers. Anyways, point being, Din is on a mission to hunt down Imperial warlords who have escaped Republic arrest and is taking down one of them right now at a snowy ice planet, which gives us Hoth vibes, of course. And, of course, you get that nice haunting feel of the eerie bong sound that you hear from the Mandalorian music as he enters the room and takes out the bad guys one by one like it was a simple video game. But the real adventure doesn't really begin until Din finishes his mission, executing, of course, the warlord that was supposed to be captured, actually, for Imperial secrets, and returns back to a rebel base not too far nearby with a trusty old new friend he's made in a rebels legend known as Zeb. Well, he also met by yet another girl boss in the form of Sigourney Weaver, who informs him that he needs to get another warlord in the cards. However, the identity of this warlord is a complete secret, and the only person that, or persons that seem to know who the identity of this warlord is that of the Hutts, who are willing to trade that secret in exchange for the rescue of their nephew, Rhoda the Hutt. Now, if you made it this far into this intro, you're probably already wondering, when is there really going to be an actual storyline to this? And I hate to tell you this, that is the storyline. The warlord, Rhoda the Hutt, and Mando and Grogu on this adventure. That's kind of the gist of this entire adventure all the way through the movie. Oh yes, there's right. There is this Filoni villain that's thrown into this. No, it's not Cad Bane. He was already taken out in Book of Boba Fett. Nobody wants to talk about that. Instead, we get Embo.
Who?
Yep, this is what 6 years and 5 months gets you for waiting this patiently for a Star Wars film. You get Embo. Yeah, you can definitely hear the excitement in my voice, and if you're even remotely excited for this, God bless you if you're able to enjoy something like that, because I honestly cannot even begin to tell you that this is not a movie that I was expecting to get with Mandalorian. I can't even say that this is a Mandalorian episode I was expecting to get. This movie is just simply filled with just member berries of the show and Star Wars references here left and right. And again, if you're for Easter eggs, enjoy if you like. But this is not what I want. I actually wanted a very, very fulfilling story that led somewhere. And I gotta be honest, this didn't excite me. This didn't even remotely get me upset because, unfortunately, when you had shows like The Acolyte, Mandalorian Season 3, and a very terrible sequel trilogy of Star Wars, you're not exactly jumping for joy when the next project comes along, when a certain someone kept repeating, wash, rinse, and repeating, hey, we're going to work on the Rey movie. Hey, we're going to work on this other project that we have no idea why we're working on, but we're going to do it anyways. We're going to get Dawn of the Jedi. We're going to get this project. That's what Kathleen Kennedy kept throwing at us for years on end. A project after project that never even got fulfilled, and then we end up getting this. Now, yes, we do have Starfighter I believe, coming down the pipeline later on next year, if I remember correctly. But aside from that, what has Disney got at this point with Star Wars? Now, if it seems that I'm being incredibly negative once again with another franchise, believe it or not, my feelings about The Mandalorian and Grogu have nothing to do directly with Star Wars. It's more about the show itself I enjoyed. Seasons 1 and 2 were fantastic seasons, and to me, that was The Mandalorian, its story. I hated Season 3. I did not like the direction it went in that, and I'm not even going to get into that because, to me, I checked out after that season. And it's, again, this is the same problem that we have been running into with Disney for so long. They have continued to go down this pipeline of throwing a so-called modern audience style of storytelling that supposedly is going to bring people to the theaters, supposedly going to get them more revenue. Has it? In terms of storytelling, my opinion is that the ending of Season 2 Mandalorian was the best way to go. Bringing both the Mandalorian and Grogu back together was a mistake. And I'm not talking about this from a story standpoint, but this was a golden opportunity for Disney to make some money too. You could have made people, hardcore Star Wars fans, happy by having the Mandalorian go off on bounty hunter theme adventures. That would have worked in his favor. Grogu, you could have passed off to other projects that you had and garnered something for younger audiences. For instance, not too long ago, Star Wars had the Skeleton Crew. Could you not have included Grogu with that project and maybe built up that franchise? Because as far as I know right now, Skeleton Crew is not coming back. And from a storytelling standpoint, there is something about keeping your audiences in anticipation for something fantastic. If you held off at least one season with The Mandalorian eventually seeing Grogu again, it would have been so much more special, much in the way of the ending of Season 2. But by reversing course and going back to this, you damaged your own small brand that you were building up in just The Mandalorian and Grogu alone. Going back to the movie itself, many others have been criticizing this film, and I am on their side for the most part in that it is a hollow version of itself. It's very generic. There's nothing new added to this that gives you any excitement in this movie. And again, the villains are incredibly generic. And even with the change of Rhoda the Hutt's character from seemingly being no different than Jabba the Hutt, you get this scene where he wants to become a better person by being a cage fighter and then working his way out of debt from his captors. In terms of what could have been done differently, and again, I'm going to spitball a little bit of an idea that I just thought of when I looked at this film. This was missing an iconic character to balance out the rest of the characters. And again, I'm spitballing a little bit, but if you really wanted to throw something out there that would have made audiences at least want to watch this, I would have thrown an iconic character like the return of General Grievous. Now, yes, I'm fully aware he died in Revenge of the Sith, but again, being a clever storytelling writer, you could have it that he was cloned. And maybe the Hutts cloned him and created versions of General Grievous. Imagine a new General Grievous works under the twins. Now you have a viable threat not only to the Mandalorian, but to the Republic, because General Grievous was a terrifying villain during the Clone Wars. Not only that, you have sort of a connective tissue to the overall expanding Star Wars lore, where Palpatine was trying to clone Jedi. Maybe this was something the Empire was looking into different ways of cloning a possible potential Force-sensitive being. But hey, what do I know? But hey, that's my take on The Mandalorian and Grogu. Basically, I would give this a kind of a low score, under mid. It's not that great a film to me. I don't hate the film, but I don't love it. I don't enjoy it in the least bit. But maybe some of you felt different about it. I'm, again, always all ears to listen to what you guys have to say about the film. And maybe you could change my mind. Maybe there's something different that I didn't see that I missed about The Mandalorian that makes this a bit better film than I understand. But hey, that's all I have to say. Like, share, and subscribe, and you best better believe I'll be back for the next one.